So 1, 2, 3, and we are live. And I'm gonna actually say we are live on the tranquil gi. So
Yes.
I don't say it enough.
Yes.
Okay, so today we've got Hamish.
Morning. How are we?
Make sure it's
Cool.
like the
Morning. How are we?
Very good.
I'm wonderful.
That's cool. Good to
Why
have
is
you,
Hamish
Hamish.
here?
What's that?
Why is Hamish here?
So we're gonna be looking at his matches, or his fights that he had at the Northern Champs. So
Yep.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Northern Champs.
So if you're listening, you probably want to be watching.
Yeah,
If you're
we'll
watching-
put that disclaimer right from the get go. But I've also got my co-host Leo.
Hey!
Nice to have you here, Leo. Actually,
Nice to be here, Leo.
facing.
Sorry.
There we go. I just want to look at Hamish, he's beautiful. And so I was facing him.
Cool. All right. So
It made it awkward already.
we've got.
Hey, before we start,
Yeah.
do you own a boat?
No, I don't own a boat. I'm not really a boating guy.
Oh, okay, so it's not you. I was trying to figure out who was doing the free boat.
Oh, yes.
In the for those of you not living in this area, someone put a free boat anonymously. Can I even say that?
This
word?
is on the grapevine.
On the grapevine,
Yeah.
and then that boat was taken, and 24 hours later we had the owner saying, actually, I'd like my boat back.
I thought that was amazing. Actually,
Yeah.
It's a great joke, if it is a joke, but I don't think it was.
I don't know. It wasn't, and I think the guy whose boat got taken was going to proceed to
Yes. Get
call the police,
involved.
get the police involved. But I mean, if you've got this horrible boat parked outside your house and you've asked the guy nicely in the past, hey, don't park your boat outside.
Yeah.
You think
And
that's
then-
what's happening? You think it's a
Oh,
neighbour?
probably.
Yeah.
So, and then he's gone, okay, I'll just say here's a free boat. I think the crazy thing is like loads of people thought that it was real and they just went and
Multiple people showed up as the guy was already putting it on his tow bar. So there was a lot of people like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
get it.
I know,
Let's
yeah.
get it.
Alright.
so it's just quite funny.
But also, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Though.
Yeah.
You see
exactly.
the post of a free Tesla outside this house. I was like, can't believe it.
Yeah.
Not my Tesla.
All right. Okay. Sorry, John. So you were saying?
No, that's cool. So I thought we would go through your two matches today, which I have to be honest, were, in my opinion, flawless. You did an awesome job on both
Thanks.
the fights, and the guy that you competed against. So it was just a round robin because there was only two of you. The guy was Chris. I forget the surname, but I'll get the surname. But he's from Hold Down Jiu Jitsu, and they are based in. I should do way more research on this. In fact, maybe Leah, maybe
Yes.
if you can go onto the internet just so, because it would be good for us
What
just
are they,
to. So it's Hold Down Jiu Jitsu.
Mangawhai?
These guys are in Mangawhai, and they've got another.
Ruakaka as well.
Yeah,
There's a
Ruakaka.
couple in there. So yeah.
So really cool club. If you up that way, I'll try and put a link in the description so you guys can see the school. And yeah, really great guys. So if you're up in that area, you want to do some jiu-jitsu, they'll be a good bunch to go have a roll with. But yep. So you were competing against Chris. I think he was down here with his family. Afterwards, they were going to go watch some football.
Yep.
Or the soccer. Sorry. And yeah, really good. But before we get into it though, how did you get into jiu-jitsu to begin with? Because you kind of came to our school, maybe a year ago?
Almost a year ago. So I think
Yeah.
October, November. I think it'll be a year ago because my son started out here. Well, my son first started at Bucklands Beach, doing the Little Warriors there, back in maybe like 2020, something like that. And then I guess the peer pressure from Andy, the coach there, for me to join up and start doing the adult classes. I got into it at some stage in 2020 as well, I think. But then it was a bit of a funny year because that's all the COVID stuff started. And then I had a bit of a break during the COVID stuff, as did my son. And then when we found out that you were doing the kids classes out here, it was a bit of a no-brainer. It was nice and close, and a nice, cool little club. And I was just recovering from a knee surgery.
Yeah, so let's go into that a bit. So what happened there?
So, a jiu-jitsu injury. I just had my knee, it was like forced into flexion and then the way it twisted, I just ended up tearing a bit of cartilage in my right knee, so I had to have that tidied up. And I actually took it easy for once and let the recovery.
You still recovered really quick. So I remember I met you for the first time when you had just had the surgery.
It must have been the same week, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe on the Thursday or
And
something.
I think you had just had the surgery, you had just come out. So it was like I think you're maybe a day or two after the surgery, and you were walking around, and I still remember you asking you, thinking, oh, you probably had the surgery a week ago. Like, no, it was yesterday or the day before. And I was like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
You recovered really quickly from that, considering the injury that it was. That's cool.
And then it's just been into it since. And it's been good fun. It's a cool little club with some people. That makes life a little bit easier when you're hanging out with good people.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a big draw card for me. So, it's been good.
Awesome. So Leah, you got
being very modest. I did not have this information, sir. You can't make me the young Jamie from Joe Rogan show. I've searched. Oh,
So
actually,
if you go
I've searched your surname. I've searched your first name.
Go Matt9. If you can go search by.
I'm gonna hand it over to Hamish. He can do it. It's your podcast, so you do it.
Probably by Matt.
Yeah, I should have done that. I should have done the research.
Oh.
I did the searches and they won't find anything. So maybe you're so good, you're just MIA on there.
Maybe they just take all the brackets away afterwards.
Did you really want
It didn't actually, did it happen?
Did it happen?
Is this just AI?
Oh,
It could be AI.
Is it like deep? Is it a deep fake?
deep fake.
Deep fake.
Yeah, you look good there for deep fake on that screen.
Yeah,
I can see.
really. So, here we go. Number 73. So he's from here, Hold Down Jiu Jitsu. Chris Mennell. Mennell.
Okay, so we'll make sure we try and
There you
get
go,
hold of
Chris.
Chris. Yeah. So
Well done for
Chris,
competing.
Yeah, well done on this, on your matches. You did really well. But yeah, then Leah, how's your training been this week?
Yeah, I'm doing it. It's getting done.
Well, you've been
Two trainings.
We had a couple of rolls this week, and you were
How was
kicking
it?
my ass,
Oh, hey. You
getting
hear
my
that?
back.
You hear that?
Yeah.
That was live.
What's
You
that?
can't take that
You
back.
can edit it.
I can edit it out though.
Damn it.
No, but it's been really good rolls, man.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I've got people like Hamish to roll with. You know, Hamish is one of the nice guys because he kind of like, he knows when to put the afterburners on, when to not put them on, and he doesn't really put them on when he's rolling with me.
The jet engines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's some other people out there that, you know, go 100% all the time and forward and try and kick your ass all the time.
It's a fun relationship to watch, that one. It's probably a love-hate, but I think there's
I think
maybe
it's gonna
more
be
hate.
another-
Is there more hate? I don't know.
Oh, actually, I shouldn't do this, but it'd be fun.
Come on, do it.
Okay. So I said I was going to post this on our channel, and he said, no, maybe you shouldn't do that because it's a bad idea. And so let me just quickly...
So let's just put it on the podcast instead.
Yeah, so we'll put it on the podcast because, you know, the 3 people that listen to this will know what we're talking about now. Just kidding. Okay, hold on.
So to everyone who doesn't know, Ford, who's another one of our guys at Mellow BJJ, rolls with Leo quite a bit. They've got this, like we said, a love-hate relationship. I would hate to think what this podcast is going to be like when the 2 of you are actually on it. It's just...
We have to keep Lexi.
It's going to be
between us.
explosive. Yeah, that's right.
It's going to be... Anyway, so he was away on Tuesday, so I said to him, hey, you back tonight? This is on Instagram. DM'd. He goes, I've been thinking about quitting. I'm already a 2-stripe white belt. What really is left for me to achieve? So I wrote back, I want to take a screenshot of this, put it in our BJJ group so boss can come and kill you. So he put, let's not do that.
Pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
So boss, if you're listening to this, you've now got
Free reigns?
free reigns.
There you go. Sorry, Ford. I'll see you on the mat.
Awesome. All right, so on the screen we have got Hamish's first match, and let's go through it.
How are you feeling coming into this match? You done some training?
Yeah, well, we've had a pretty good tempo at the moment, eh? Like,
Yeah.
And I've been making trainings, which is nice. So yeah, I think I was feeling pretty good. I didn't feel, because I did a no-gi comp a couple of years ago, and I was super nervous. And because I think I was maybe like a 1-stripe, might have been like 1-stripe white belt.
Oh, so this wasn't the one that we did at
No,
Ford.
so that was one. It was maybe like the gi, like the Northern Gi champs.
Oh, okay.
maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was gassed within like the first 45 seconds.
Was that your first competition?
Yeah, that was my very first comp.
I think everyone, that happened to me in my first competition. So I went out and didn't think about anything other than just trying to win the match.
Yeah.
And then I got off, and I didn't even realize it during the match, but after it all said and done, I walked off and my forearms were just like on fire, like I could hardly, like my grips were just gone.
Builder's climb,
Yeah, it was just like, I never had felt that ever like before, so I'm going, how am I going to have my second match? I can't grip or do anything.
Yeah, all of this blood out of my forearms.
I think that's common with a lot of people, and I think as you get used to competition, you learn to kind of, hold back just very slightly. It's kind of weird actually. At white belt, everything's a scramble, it seems like.
Yeah.
And then as you start getting a bit higher, blue belt, it's a little bit like that, but a little bit more methodical. At purple belt, you start, I think you're really starting to think about your matches and think about your moves, and then at brown and black, it's very strategic, and so you go. When you do go, you go 100%. But then there's other times you kind of, you're hanging back, you're really thinking about things. So I think at white belt, it's you really have to have good cardio, I feel, and try and be a little bit more reserved as you started. And I think it seemed like from the outside that you were in quite a good headspace with it. So is that right? Or
yeah,
were you nervous?
I guess I was a little bit nervous because it's always, you're out there and there's people watching, right? Like it's kind of the same as being at the gym. Like there's always someone watching, but there's a lot more people here, right? Like there's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good turn.
I must say, like there was like over 900 entrants.
Yeah.
That's
So
huge.
I mean, that's
Unbelievable.
props to Steve Oliver for putting on a really good competition. I think we have to hand it to the guy, and also to his team, because it actually ran to schedule.
Yeah.
Like it really did.
Yeah.
I think there was one little hiccup there with Zar as we during the day, but I think other than that, it was run very smoothly, and a lot of. I mean, normally you have the kids stuff that happens in the morning, and then you have the higher belts, they do their matches, and then normally in the afternoon it's the blue and white belts. But the whole day there was just kids, there were just matches going on all the time.
Yeah.
And the kids, it just seemed like the kids were just competing the entire day, because it was gi and no gi.
Yeah.
Very well.
It was a big day for the kids, man. Like, because we were there for Zara's matches. We were there for 7:30 for weigh-in, and his last fights were at sort of 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's a big old day for a 9-10-year-old, and there's younger kids than that competing as well. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So no, good.
Yeah, no, it was a good day. Good day.
All right, so let's have a look at the first match. So
Ooh, first time seeing it from this angle.
there we go. So we're starting here.
So Hamish, which one are you?
Not in the shosha roll gi.
You got the red belt on.
Yeah, I've got the red belt on.
Oh.
Chris had really good grips. That was one thing I noticed real early on. I was like, man, this guy's got like, he's got me good.
Yeah.
And it's probably something I haven't done a lot of is like grip fighting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think in the gi it's like, because I think you did do gi in the last competition that we did, and I think you were up against Carl on one of your first matches, and he's just got such good flexibility, and trying to strip grips there was quite hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt that here. I think I was telling you, hey, you need to get rid of that collar grip.
Yeah.
But he did a really good takedown there.
Yeah.
And it actually surprised me when he did that, because I felt then when he did that, I was like, oh, okay, his grips were really strong. Really nice takedown. But what I like here with what you did was you re-guarded beautifully, like you got your legs. And then I was trying to tell you at that point, there you're trying to get your De La Riva hook in, and you're trying to get a grip on his collar there, but he was doing a really good job of not allowing you to do that. So that was very good on Chris to do. And then you're able to, I think while you were trying to grab that collar, you managed to get the sweep because he was just going a little bit further back, and you just kind of pushed him a little bit, and then you came up.
Yeah, that
up
sweep
on
was just with your legs?
Yeah, it
So
was. Yeah.
I forgot to say, whatever advice he gives you, it's good. Whatever I say to you, don't worry about it.
I'll
Okay?
listen, mate. Take it all.
That, Leo, anyone's
Yeah.
observation is worth something,
Oh,
for sure.
wise words.
So-
I like it.
Yep, so there you went straight into side control, which is really nice. So you did like a very low Toriander pass to get there. And I think at this point I was saying, hey, block the hip, but you went to go get the knee right position, which you did really well, and then went to try to get to mount, but then we ended up standing again.
Yeah.
I think at this point you knew kind of like where, his grip strength and potentially what he's going to do. So you grabbed a beautiful single leg there, and then tripped him up and got a takedown. So that was another 2 points there. And I think you landed in side control with that. So I mean, it's just almost very similar to you're in half guard there.
Yeah, okay.
It's very similar to Lockie's one that he did.
Yeah.
So that was a really good takedown. So there you just working your basic half guard pass, which you got straight away. And then now this is kind of like where things started unraveling. So I knew at this point when you were trying to go for an S mount there, because you like your arm bars from that point.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to get into the S mount, and I think at this point, what he started giving to you was his back, and here it goes over here.
I think that first one he had kind of like, I think he kind of got a bit of a cross collar.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, I lifted my arm up. He had a bit of a cross collar. And I was a little bit like, oh, it's quite tight considering I'm sort of in the dominant position here. But it's also nice knowing that I didn't really have to worry about it. And it's like, yeah, it's tight, but he's not gonna put me out.
No. So where was that? At the.
I think it was this one. I don't know if it was this, I think it was sort of in around this little scrambly bit here.
Oh, so he had a. Oh, so
he had a bit of a cross, like a bit of a cross collar.
Yes, I see that now. Yeah.
And I was a little, oh yeah.
And actually, that actually is a well, if you manage to get the right grips and the person is on top, you can choke a person from bottom there. So I think maybe he was thinking about that, but just didn't quite have the right grips. I can see there now his hand.
Yeah. Like I think I've stayed busy enough that he probably couldn't get quite deep enough. Like how we talked about that punch, sort of that extra punch to get nice and deep. I don't think he was able to get that.
Well, I think what he's trying to go for there is a baseball bat choke from underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, your right hand has actually got to grab the collar, and then your left hand has got to go around. So you've got that baseball bat position. And then from the bottom, then you start closing up your elbows, and that puts the choke on.
Yeah.
But you have to really set that up before the person comes around your guard. So if you haven't quite got that, I mean, I have seen in the past guys in competition where they take the person's lapel, or they do try and get it. But it's if a person knows what they're looking out for, then it's really hard to get it. But I have seen a person do it and actually get it in competition after they've gone around into side control. So I didn't actually spot that. So he was going for that choke, and that allowed you to basically set yourself up to take the back, which you did do. So you came around here because you're on side back control at the moment. And I think at this point I was telling you, hey, get your seatbelt grip, get your hooks in, which you did do, and both hooks in. And I was screaming at this point to get your body lock on, which you did do.
Oh, there it is.
And so at this point it was 16 points up. Chris is on 2 minutes to go.
Come on, Chris.
And
sorry.
Yep. So now you're starting to work your choke, which is quite cool. So you're just doing a bit of grip fighting there. I was just saying at this point, hey, what I really liked about that, Hamish, is that you didn't just release your hooks just so you can go get your body lock back. You got your sort of like an intermediary hooks in there, and then you worked your way into getting to the body lock on the other side, which was really cool. So you're stomping down on his thigh, and so he was back basically in that body lock position. and then you got your choke, and then it was pretty much like a bow and arrow choke from there. So yeah, it was really good first match.
You like your bow and arrows, don't you?
Yeah, when you can get your hand
I
on
think
them.
you've done it to me. Not just once, but there you go.
Nice.
A little bit gassed,
Nice
to
one.
be fair.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. So during that first match, did you get like a bit of an adrenaline dump?
Yeah, I think sort of that first, I'd say probably when he got that, when he got his sweep at the start, it's kind of that you're like, oh yeah, this is happening now. Like it's not just
It's
that
on.
Yeah.
stand up, and then when you hit the deck, you're like, oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Okay. Now we on.
Yeah, it's real now. So I think you probably get a bit more. I'll probably get a bit more of a dump at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, it was. I think it did surprise me that takedown that he got, and you could see that he had been practicing it.
Yeah.
It seemed like he had been practicing it. So it was good.
How much rest do you get between?
I think we had there was 2 or 3 matches in between.
Oh, so yeah.
In between us,
So it could be anything up to 15, but if they're quick matches, you're
yeah,
back
and
on
because the thing is,
in
you
minutes.
could be over in 30 seconds, right?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that brings all your time forward.
Oh,
But no, we had a bit of a break, and then we got a bit of a surprise when we had to get back up and get back into it. But
I thought maybe you were going to be having a third match, but it was only if you won. Hey.
we
Yeah.
probably should have asked if we just could have kept going.
Yeah.
I would have liked another match, but that's right. But
especially for what you pay, right? You pay
what, so
70
we pay you $25
entry.
membership,
Yeah, membership. for
and
the
then
year.
there's a tournament fee. So if you did both, it'd be like $100. I think probably like $130.
Mm.
And then maybe almost, and if you had to pay your membership, you're looking at $150. So
$75 a roll, sir.
yeah,
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
But that's okay.
You've had your 2 rolls. Get out of here.
But I was going to say the back control stuff. So like Adam in his fight, it was a school right on our back control drill, and it shows how awesome it is, and that I think we're doing the right stuff at the gym, right? Like we're doing for this level stuff, that we're doing the right stuff that you can dominate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's probably one thing that I didn't do as a white belt enough, and even at blue belt, was really drill back takes and maintaining the back. Because I was more playing guard and doing half guard and deep half, like that bottom game. But I think it's really good if you can actually have a very good back game, like chase the back. And it just I saw that it's quite funny. Like I think as a higher belt, and this is the great thing about jiu-jitsu, like you always think, okay, because you're a brown belt or a black belt, that there's nothing much more that you can learn. But you learn so much from watching. I learn a lot from watching you guys, and just naturally what Lachlan and Sachin were doing was, like right when they first started, was they kept on trying to get to the back of their opponents. I remember saying to Lachlan, I was like, I see you guys are like just naturally trying to take the back of people. He's like, it's like the best place to get to, so you can try and get a submission. And I think that's given me a bit of, that's driven me to actually go, okay, I actually need to put this as part of my game a bit more. So I've been trying to chase the back a bit, and then that's also made me think about, okay, as you guys as white belts, okay, let's try and get let's actually try and chase the back. Let's get that back control. Let's concentrate on that a bit more. And I think maybe, what was it? Maybe 5 or 6 months ago, we kind of introduced more back control, a little bit more details around that. And then it just worked out this way. Like a couple of weeks before this competition, there was a school break, and then a lot of the guys went away, and we were busy doing single X and X guard. And I thought, okay, let's just put that. Let's just pause it. We'll just go back to some back control stuff for 2 weeks, and then we'll come back to it just so happened that the stuff that we had been practicing for those last couple of weeks, and really doing a lot of positional drills, and I think that helped heaps, because when Lachlan went to go do his competition, his back control was just way better than what it was like 5-6 months ago. And definitely I could see here in your match it was something that you use really well, and yeah, the same with Adam.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'll get Adam and Jace into the next podcast to go through his matches, but yeah, that was really good. Awesome. All right, so second match, we've got the same guy.
Come on, Chris.
But now you guys you guys know each other a little bit. I guess you know maybe what you guys are going to be getting up to. So
is there a confidence booster knowing that you won the last one, now sitting in the second match?
Yeah, I think, but you never know though, right? Because sometimes you kind of feel like you might have got a bit lucky. And because it is like you can get unlucky really quick in jiu-jitsu, right? Like you fall slightly the wrong way and your opponent's in a way better position than you.
Yeah.
And if they've got a gain from that position, you're in trouble, right? So you never know. And it's nice. Like Chris and I were just sitting like after a match. It's like you just go sit down and just talking shit with each other for the next 10-15 minutes, right? And that's cool. And that's another thing I like about jiu-jitsu. Yeah. It's just like we'll go and try and smoke each other on the mats, and then once you finish, just like your mates again. Yeah. And it's really cool. And that was another thing. And I've seen it a couple of times when my son's competed. How awesome the kids are.
Yeah.
Like the kids are amazing.
Like they're genuinely concerned if the other kid gets hurt, and it's just high fives and hugs at the end. And that's really cool.
Girls. These two girls collided heads by accident. One cried, the other one just stood over, gave her a hug. Then after the match, they hugged each other. And said thank you. And they're only like 6, and you're like, they get it. It was amazing.
Yeah. There's a lot of lessons in it, right? It's, it's cool. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. No. Okay, so second match.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
So off we go. So we're shaking hands. Okay, so here we are again. Let's see if Chris does the same thing. I can't remember.
I think I did a little bit better at keeping the distance in this one.
Yes.
And so I had that little single leg in my mind that we'd drilled on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
You nearly got a trip there.
Yeah, so there you see his grip there is like way higher, and that's causing issues. So it's sometimes in this position here, it's not bad for you to actually, I know he's got a grip on your sleeve, but if you go around his hand, you could strip that. Yeah. And then to do a 2-on-1, like grab his wrist and then push it out. Okay. So yeah, as long as it's not a bad thing to do that, yeah. So yeah, so I think he's trying to set that same sweep up. And he's going around. So yeah, so I can see you now. Yeah, so he did, So that was even, he's like really strong. Yeah. So yeah.
I like that throw.
It's good.
Do we know the name of that?
There is a name for it, but
Not on this podcast, you won't learn that.
But once you did that big throw on you, Hamish, you did a good job of, you see your left hand there you grabbed his left foot.
Yep.
Your left foot is actually in between his legs, so he hasn't got, he hasn't passed your guard, which is cool. And I think at this point your gi was like almost going over your head from that. Yeah. But it's...
That takes us back, doesn't it?
It does. Keep you through a bump hole.
Oh, that was the ref. He did this all day, and it was awesome. Like,
so he's going to take
come in and just start pulling you.
Is the ref allowed to do that?
Yeah.
I think he's got you an advantage with your gear.
Yeah, but as long as he's doing it for everybody, it doesn't really matter.
He was actually a really good ref, this guy, because he was really enthusiastic and so really into it, which was really cool. But yeah, good position here. So you've just managed to get your legs in, grab hold of the legs, and now I think what Chris was doing. What he could have done a little bit better here is that he needed to get the distance from you. Yeah. And he kept on coming in towards you, and I think because we drill that so much with our open guard techniques and stuff, just our basic stuff what we do, we're quite used to a person coming in towards us, and it kind of helps us. So yeah, so I think this was playing into stuff that you used to. So you're trying to get your Dede Hiva hook in again, which is cool. He's doing a good job again of stripping your grips, but because he's doing that, he's losing concentration a bit in terms of his balance. But yeah, so you see how far, like he's like so
And right
close
he's
into
on
you.
my centre line, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as he moved into the center line, I think this is where I was saying back sweep. And yeah, I think this is exactly what you did, and then you came right up again. So just basic stuff that we normally practice all the time, right? Is, you know, a back sweep. And again, so you got that back sweep, and you went straight into your sort of like a pancake pass more this time around. And it's almost like a repeat. So you blocked the hip there quite nicely, went round to his back.
Got that back quite quickly.
And this is quite, you see, for me back in the day, and now, like, I would have just gone into self-control, then started working. What I loved about what you guys are doing is, like, as soon as you can see a person's back is being exposed, you guys go straight to the back. So you switched across right over to the other side, which is really cool. And yep, now I was saying at this point, okay, get your seatbelt grip. And so I think this is when you were trying to get that.
Yeah.
Is it John's screen?
That's all I could hear.
Oh, you
I couldn't
couldn't
hear anything else.
Right. Because I was thinking maybe you were trying to go for a certain move, and then John called a different move. You're like, all right, I'll do an audible. There we go.
So I was there. I was like, nope, wrong way, other way.
Here we go.
So yeah, so there we go. So body lock again on that side, which is really cool. And now you're just starting to work your grips. What beautiful over there. What you did was you got his head onto the other side. Very nice. Yeah, very cool. And he sort of rolled.
Shout out to John Ollison who taught me that little trick.
Nice. Yep. So you're just kind of just riding his back at the moment, just trying to get a good position. So again, you just work. You got your hooks in there. So I think we're sitting at 6 points to you, 2 points to Chris. And yep, you got your body. So this
is getting out.
I think this is because we've been practicing this so much. We've just been riding the back more, and so I think in the past we probably maybe would have given up. But I think now because we're practicing, you know, taking a person's back, then if you lose the hook to try and then retake the back again, like we're doing a lot of those type of drills. So you guys are just sort of following on from that. And I think you're just trying to get the grips here, hey?
Yeah.
Which I think you did do at this point, and then you locked up the body lock again as you rolled. And now you're trying to work the gi. So it's nice over there. I can see you pulling the gi down, and then yeah, you got your grip, and then again, it's you managed to get the bow and arrow choke.
Cool.
A little time there. There you go.
So it was the same, very much the same repeat, of the first match, but yeah, they're really good.
Oh, well done to both you lads.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was good.
No, it was really good, Hamish. So how did you feel like with how did you feel with the first match? How did you feel with the second match? And how did you feel overall?
The first one was good. And getting that, I think I felt really good after getting that takedown. It sort of gives you a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, that takedown was sweet.
Yeah, and I think because Chris mentioned afterwards, he was like, I think the announcer was watching our mat at that point, and over the PA system, he's like, oh. But yeah, so that felt really good, and I think that, like I said, it gives you a bit of a boost, and then it's just into your work. But like I said earlier, it's getting the time to drill these positions that I think is helping us a lot. Because it's all well and good, like drilling for 10 minutes and then doing some rolls, like doing some 5-minute rounds or whatever. But I think there's more value in 45 minutes to an hour of positional stuff, and then less 5-minute rounds.
Yeah.
Because it's just, what is it, like practice 1,000 times and something like that to learn stuff.
Yeah.
Practice 1,000, train 10,000 or something like that. So the more you can put yourself in that position and work into it or work out of it, that's where I think that's been helping a lot. So I guess I felt pretty confident in the first one, and then after how the first one went, felt nice and confident going into the second one, and just thinking about the little things to try and improve on.
Yeah.
Around the grips and stuff. But it's good to get some stuff to work on as well, right? Like.
Well, I think what I saw there was that you're actually recognizing that you needed to have a good grip. It's just that Chris was doing a really good job of not allowing you to get the grips that you want, which is his job. That's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so I think if I think we were just rolling at the club, you would have got the grips that you wanted. But it's good to to reiterate is like to just try and get to get your grips, get those nice deep grips. And if you have your grips that are sort of mid lapel, it's just not it's not as effective.
Yeah.
From there. So yeah.
My question to you, sir, is advice for those listening that want to do a tournament. What's your advice to them?
Just do it.
Yeah, that's
just
the
do
answer.
it, man.
Just do it.
Yeah, it's not that scary. And because there's other people there that's their first competition too, right? Especially for white, it's probably different for white belts, obviously, because blue belts have been around a little bit longer. But yeah, just go out and do it. And the one, like the competition that we did a few months ago at Forge, that was awesome. Because it's just white belts, and everyone else is in the same position. It's their first competition.
We're all spazzing on the mat.
Where you're all spazzing together, right? And that's the wonders of it. So I think, I don't know, hopefully we can do that again.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Corey, when was it, about 2-3 weeks ago, and so we might put on a white belt and blue belt competition at the tail end of this year. Yeah.
Nice, cool.
So internal one, so that'll be really good. Yeah, so we'll try and get the Machado schools around and do it again. So I think it'll be quite good. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think we just need we're just trying to time it because I know Nationals is going to be coming up later this year.
November?
Yeah.
Nationals.
Yeah. So we just got to try and, so maybe we'll do it just after Nationals, or we're trying to think, do we do it just before Nationals? But then you don't want to put a competition on and just in case you get injured and you can't go do Nationals. So
as a rookie that I am, is Nationals would be a step higher than what this tournament was?
That's a very good question because normally with this, because I would consider this our regionals that we normally do, and regionals it's never quite the same as what Nationals is.
Okay.
But there were so many people at this competition.
It felt like a national.
It felt like a national competition.
Yeah.
But as a caliber of athletes, would there be another step higher, or do you think those people that be at nationals were actually in this one as well?
I think most of them were here. Yeah, I think at the higher belts, I think more black belts and brown belts come to the
I'm not
nationals.
competing with them, so that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I think that's probably the only difference. But I'd say from white belts to blue belt, there were tons. I really didn't see many. Maybe they were on later during the day. I think they probably were.
Yeah.
Because some of the zero gravity guys were down there, and they were competing, and those guys are blue purples, and so maybe they were coming a little bit later during the day. And I think Clinton from Daredevil and Bryce from Gracie Allegiance, they were, I think they were the only two black belts there actually competing. So I think they also had a round robin.
There you missed the matches. You could have done that one, Hannah.
Yeah, I wish I'd actually seen the matches.
They must have been later on during the day though, which is really strange because normally with the black belt and brown belt matches, they are on before, they come before all the other belts.
You should try and find a way to do it that they're the only ones actually on the mat, so everyone's watching them. Because it's like an honour thing, like, hey, here's some black belts that we've got this tournament.
Well, I think now it's going to be videoed. Like there's going to be a live stream.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
For the black belt matches.
$15.95 for that live stream. just like I would pay $10 to come in to watch it.
Give us a discount, Steve.
I got my money's worth, so I paid, and then I walked into the fighters pit, not knowing that's not where I was supposed to be.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
actually,
I'm walking in with my daughter, and I'm like, I don't think I'm meant to be here, but I'll make the most of it.
I know.
Yeah.
If you look like you're meant to be there, no one will ever question.
Holding a baby, absolutely.
Well, I couldn't get in there without showing my little bandy thing.
Yeah.
Every single time. I don't know how you got in there.
Dude, I just know how to walk confidently.
Yeah, you did.
I've done this at the TUI Awards. We didn't know what we were doing. We walked into the TUI Awards, but it was the after party. David Tour, Scribe, everybody, free purse. And everyone just thought I was some sort of artist for them.
Oh, awesome.
And then I was like, I better get out of here before they find out who I am. Anyway.
Politely ask you to leave. But I think you should sign up for Nationals, Leo. That's basically what you've just asked me.
Oh, is that what I'm asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think all of us are going to sign. I mean, even I'm signing up for the for black belt,
Nice.
Just do it. I think we should. As a team, we should go in.
Yeah.
We do well, we support each other, and that's what everyone else is doing, so I like it.
Yeah, get Mello on the mat and the points.
Yeah. I don't think it's too many of us. That's the only.
Yeah.
I think.
Got to be in there doing it though. So,
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think
that's how I was going to get points. Come on, bro.
Hey.
Well, of the three three adults that we had, so 2 golds, and Ben, Benny had some really good matches, so that's pretty good going for us. And obviously Little Czar being his first comp back, I think he did really well.
Yeah. Good.
So,
there's some good learnings there for him,
absolutely.
which is cool.
So I think we did really awesome. And yeah, so we'll get Adam and Jason to have a look at their matches, but it was good going. I think, and we'll get Benny on as well.
Yeah.
I won't disclose what he was, actually I will say it because it's actually so damn funny, and then you can repeat it, but he was saying, because you were saying you're having a bit of banter with the guy, with Chris, and so apparently Benny was there with all his crowd that he was going to be doing his matches with. And this other guy was walking around shaking all the guys' hands and I think, did you tell me the story?
Yeah, I
so you said.
Oh, apparently
so funny,
man.
man.
From their brackets walking around shaking hands going, oh, good luck today, good luck today. I'm fucking nervous. I'm really nervous. And then I think when he shook Ben's hand, Ben's like, you don't tell us you're nervous, we're about to fight you. And the guy's like, at least it's being honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Or is it just playing mind games?
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. It would be a mind game.
I would do that if I was like black belt up to the white belt. Like, oh, I'm really nervous. Take it easy, you'll be okay, mate. No, I wouldn't do that.
That's almost like going up to people and going, I'm really, really bad at 50-50 guard. Please don't put me in there.
Yeah. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm still new.
I really don't like chokes.
I'm new at this back game thing.
Oh, I love it. Alright, I got a question for you, Mr. Black Belt over there.
Alright.
Black belts of Reddit. Are you on Reddit?
No.
Okay, well, black belts, what in real life situation has Jiu-Jitsu helped you in?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think what it would do is it would help me remain a bit more calm.
Yeah.
That I could maybe assess the situation a bit more. I mean, I would never ever get into a fight just for the sake of just getting into a fight. I'll try and avoid that as much as possible. So, but
That's
if at least
not your personality, you would definitely not want to start one. Definitely not.
No.
Yeah.
So and you don't know. I mean, Hamish, you know like more than most people, but you don't know what people are like carrying these days, or it's not. New Zealand's not what it was like 10 years ago.
No, not at all.
So for me, it's like, even if it's like a bunch of teenagers or whatever, I think they kind of, they're almost like the worst, but trying to avoid.
Teenagers carry hammers these days.
Or knives or whatever. So.
Well, I mean, you brought that into a street fight scenario. It didn't have to be street fight. It could be other life experience, but I guess that is a good answer. You've got a bit more patience. Yeah. Suss out the situation.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think I'll maybe remain a bit more calm because I know that, okay, if something kicks off, then, okay, maybe I can take the person down, grab hold. I mean, if I would do anything, if I had to attack a person or do something, I would do a heel hook on them or something like that. Like, I'd just grab their leg and just bust their knee. Oh. So it's the quickest and easiest, one.
There's a lot of physio afterwards. So, can I put that question on you, sir? What has Jiu-Jitsu taught you?
Same for me is patience and also just being it's the old adage, it's just like you'll see a photo of, it was like Mikey, what's his last name?
Musamishi.
You look at him, right, and you're like, he's not a dangerous looking dude, but he is really dangerous. And that's probably the big thing, is that you don't even take a person on at face value, because you just don't know.
Don't judge a book by
its cover. Yeah, man, because there's some very dangerous people out there that you have no idea about. That's probably one thing. And then just for my work, I won't go into my work, but for restraint, like for being able to control people, like controlling a person looks a lot better than like wailing away on a person.
Yes.
So there's a lot of value in that, and I think everyone should have an awareness of control as opposed to just wailing on someone.
Wise words from Hamish.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll
let you know what the number one answer on this was. It has helped me to be on first name basis with 2 physical therapists in my local area. Which I thought was funny.
Yeah. Osteos, keeps osteos employed.
Yeah.
Chiropractors.
Well, I think Gassan is definitely keeping employed with all of us, yeah. So I think Jason's gone to go see him. I was talking to Jason this week and I was like, yeah, how's your hip going? He said, no, it feels much better. I was down with Gassan and, you know, poked a few needles on me and...
That guy knows a lot of us.
Dude, that guy's amazing. Like,
As soon as you walk in, he's like, which jiu-jitsu club are you from? Oh yeah, I know you guys. I've done this, I've done that. Yeah, he gets a lot of work from us. We've kept him in business for sure.
yeah, no, for sure, yeah. I've kept he's done a lot with me, yeah. The only guy's really sorted me out, so... But yeah, there's a lot of good people around here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, I got a second question.
To me?
Yep.
Okay.
Does anyone else find the idea of a mat enforcer a bit cringe?
A mat enforcer?
So this person's saying, my gym is super chill and friendly. Hey, that sounds like us. I just can't imagine there being a situation where a new guy would be super aggressive and needs to be humbled by an upper belt to learn their lesson. If someone was spazzing or celebrating after submission or stuff like that, our coach would just talk to them and tell them to stop or chill. So first, do we need a mat enforcer? Have you guys seen mat enforcers?
I think for me, mat culture is probably the main driver, and I probably learned that a lot from Mike, you know, because Mike set a really great mat culture at ground control. And so I think for me, that's probably the number one thing. So I think for someone to come in and not contribute to our mat culture, I think that would worry me more than anything else. Because I think a person who naturally a new person that comes in and they roll for the first time, they do spaz out a bit, and so. But I think
been there, done that.
So I think that's quite a natural thing, and I think naturally through the group, not even with me saying anything, you know, guys actually you don't need to go 100% the whole time. You can hang back. So I actually think that, and that really comes from your mat culture. So if you don't have a good mat culture and people come in and, you know, just like what Kyle was saying the other day with won't say the club, but not to say it's the wrong thing, because a competition club, when you're going there, they want to roll hard because that's their goal. They want to make sure they're good at competitions and stuff. But when you're just hobbyists and dads and, you know, in your 40s for the most part, you know, you just don't have that, you know, competition's not your main focus. It's just being around people and having a bit of fun. So so I think that kind of naturally gets sorted out. But yeah, mat culture for me is the main one.
Do you think it's probably more in like larger gyms, a lot more people? I think because of us, it's still a nice size where the culture is very easy to pass through. I don't know if what this gentleman's talking about is probably a very large gym, where the culture could kind of be, you know, watered down as through the ranks. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I think I really do think it just depends on. And I mean, those bigger gyms, they'll have competition classes where, you know, like at ground control now on a Tuesday, they've got their competition class. Yeah. So that'll always be more focused on, more rough. I won't say rough rolling, but you know what I mean. Like it's not going to be easy rolling. Yeah. Higher intense rolling.
Yeah. Which sometimes our club does when we get close to the tournament. For those that are in the tournament, the tempo goes up a bit. So.
Yeah, and we'll put like rings around them a bit more, so it's more focused on them. So so I guess it's more, for me it's just, more mat culture, I guess, is probably the quick answer.
Have you ever seen a mat general or something like that have to be used in your years of rolling?
No, I don't think so.
Like, oh, give him Bob will teach that guy.
I'm pretty sure, like I've read in books and stuff where guys have, I think maybe more in the US or whatever, but guys are coming in and seeing a black belt there and going, okay, I want to roll with that black belt, and then the black belt going, okay, well if you can get through one of my white belts, then okay. Yeah. And generally they don't get even through the white, a white belt, so that kind of humbles them a little bit.
That's some ego right there.
Yeah, but you do get that. I mean,
my mum told me I'm good. I want to face the black belt.
Yeah. Well, you see those videos, like a bodybuilder or someone comes up, like big muscle bound dude, and he's like, right, I'll smash you up, and they're like, well, you try this female blue belt.
Yeah, I've seen the female.
There you go, and they get annihilated.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you can watch someone's ego die almost instantly.
It's a good video.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Those are my only questions for you this week. Well done.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, no, well done, Hamish.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're creeping up to that hour mark, so we might as well call it a day. But yeah, no, thanks for coming on.
Nice,
and well
thanks,
done on your matches at the Northern Champs. Very
you.
cool. We'll make sure to get hold of Chris and
Yeah, we should hear
put a
his
link-
side of the story. Maybe Chris will say Hamish was just being rude. and
He was
throwing
crying. He was
elbows
crying
and-
the whole time.
Actually, when I grabbed his gi, I felt all this like Vaseline and like it was slippery as hell. Like,
Yeah, maybe one day we'll get Chris on the podcast and we'll stream him in, and then we can have a talk with him about the competition and stuff. I'm pretty sure you'll probably see him at some
I
other
would say probably.
competitions.
I think at nationals he was talking about nationals. So.
Okay.
So one's of the Masters 2 category. I'm so glad that I'm at the age now that there's a Masters category, because I was watching some of the like sub 35-year-old matches, and there's no way I want to be in there.
have you seen some of the stuff the kids are doing? I
Oh,
saw this one
man.
where I saw that they're sort of fighting for position with their hands, and then the kid goes to shoot, and the other kid does like a leapfrog over him, but in the air can turn around, land back on his gets his back and puts the hooks in. Like this. It's just I don't have.
Dude, the kids, I mean, we were at that sub-only contest, the stealth contest, looking at some of those kids there, and even the kids here at this competition, they're like amazing. Like, if they carried on, I mean, I think we were saying this at the competition, if they carry on until they're adults, I mean, they're going to be beasts.
Yeah.
Like, they're just so good. Their movements, they're like so flexible as well. They just, I saw one kid, like, one of the kids just put his arm up just even a little bit, and he just jumped on the arm. It's just, I was just like, wow.
They know what they're
really
doing.
good. They already know like what they're doing, so it's it's really cool. And I
reckon Chris has got a picture of you up in his gym, and he's just like.
with a dart, it's probably on a dartboard.
Yeah, dartboard.
Between the forehead every time he walks
He's
out.
just doing weights, and he's just looking at you like, I'm gonna get you,
I'm
boy.
gonna get that boy.
There you go.
Yeah.
I could
No.
get round 2.
Yeah.
Or round 3.
Yeah, good.
Awesome. All right.
Excellent.
Thank you, Hamish.
Thanks for your time, boys.
No
Appreciate it.
worries. Thank you for coming on the podcast, and we'll catch you guys next time.